We out here today. And we out here. Let me know what my worth is, bro.
So what you guys just saw was footage of me drinking after 502 days of sobriety from alcohol. It was my first night drinking after such an extended period of time, abstaining, and I had around 6 drinks that night, and I blacked out, which makes me ashamed. And looking back at that footage, like when I see that footage, I'm like physically in disgust seeing myself in that state, because I don't even remember recording that footage. As you can clearly see, I'm slurring my words. And that was the night of one of my vlogs that I filmed as well. And there's so much other footage that I haven't released, and so much other footage of me in that night out. But I mean, it's clear that I'm like intoxicated from the way I'm speaking, so I haven't released that. Maybe I will in the future or some point. So making this video is just to hold myself accountable. It's unscripted, so it's just my raw, authentic thoughts. But I'm someone who kind of struggled with heavy alcohol usage, and I would say alcohol dependence, between the ages of 18 and 24. And there was like a brief stint during that time where I wasn't drinking at all. I think around like 1 year and maybe a year and a half or something. A little bit over a year. I made it, but then during the lockdown again, I relapsed, and it always begins with me not drinking that much. 2 drinks every now and then progressing to drinks daily, and then as the tolerance builds, so does the drinking habit. And I'm not going to go too much into detail about that in this video because I don't want to be too long, so I'm not going to go over the whole history, but just to give you guys a little bit of context. And then I quit drinking again November 28th, 2021. And my life significantly improved. Like the person I was when I was drinking daily compared to now, it's like, bro, it's night and day. I'll go over it more in detail in another video. I'm just making this quick rant. So November 28th, 2021, I set a goal to myself to quit alcohol for 1 year, 365 days. And I accomplished that. And then after I realized how much my life had improved without alcohol, and how much of a detriment and poison alcohol was to my life and mental well-being, I decided to quit for good. But upon relapsing in Cambodia, as you guys saw, I think I continued drinking for the next 2 months. I never got drunk again after that evening, after blacking out, which I was supposed to go to the temple the next morning as well at like 5 a.m. And I told my tuk-tuk driver, a local like tuk-tuk driver, if you guys know what that is, like a motorbike taxi, to meet me at 5 a.m. He came to my hotel at 5 a.m. and I was passed out. Like, bro, I was out cold. My phone was ringing. I think I even put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Like, I was just out of it, bro. I don't remember how I got back to the hotel that evening. Man, I was just a mess the next day. And the next day, the hangover was so bad. Bedridden until like the afternoon, and I went to Angkor Wat with a hangover, and bro, it was just like, it was a rough day, to say the least. So I continued drinking casually after that for the next 2 months, drinking here casually, a few drinks every now and then, but then it escalated to like maybe 1 or 2 drinks daily, and then it escalated like 3 or 4 some days. It was bad, man. Some days I think I was drinking like 6 drinks or 8 drinks, and not really feeling it that much. And the way I would drink the way I drink generally is I'll have like a drink in the morning, right? Like a seltzer or something, maybe even like a cider, something between like 3 to 5%, and then I'll have a water. So I'll sip like a little bit of the cider in the morning when I wake up, or the seltzer when I wake up, and then I'll have some water with that. Like, it's bad, man. I drink throughout the day and I stay hydrated, so I don't consume a lot at once, but I like drink throughout the day to keep like some sort of buzz, right? And then as the tolerance increases, then the more and more I drink. But it was super bad because I'm on Accutane medication as well for my skin, right? So my liver is already a little bit iffy from that Accutane medication, and the medication itself dries you out. So it really wasn't a good combination at all. I had it like, I was functional when I was in Thailand. I wasn't getting drunk, like I said, but I was getting tipsy quite a bit. I was drinking quite a bit. Some days I would drink before going to the gym, bro. I would be tipsy at the gym. And at the beginning, it was kind of fun when my tolerance was really low and I was only having less than like half a drink before going to the gym. But I got to the point where sometimes I would have like 1 or 2 drinks while going out, or even more, and then I would go to the gym afterwards, and I would do cardio and lift weights. And bro, like talk about recovering and trying to be optimal for the gains. Like that is not it, G. That is not it. So that continued, and then it was like 1 month when it was just one morning when I went to a cannabis cafe. I'm not even gonna lie. I went to a cannabis cafe in Bangkok one morning. I think it was like Sunday morning or something. And then I went to smoke up. I had a beer over there. And this was before going to the gym session. So I was like, yo, let me go get crossfaded before going to the gym. Like, what was I thinking, man? So I went and that happened. And then I went to the gym and bro, I was so exhausted. I felt like absolute trash, bro. I couldn't get through my workout. So I was like, yo, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Like, I can't continue on like this. I've made so much progress in my fitness journey. This is not optimal. I can't continue going on like this. Like, it was clearly getting to a point where it was interfering with my daily life. Like, man, it was only going to get worse from there if I continued. So I stopped drinking after that. This was a few weeks before I left Thailand. So I stopped drinking after that. I didn't really have any desires. It wasn't like the first time when I stopped drinking, like on November 28th, 2021. Back when I was at my like worst, man, quitting alcohol, and I quit nicotine around the same time. I've almost been 2 years tobacco nicotine free, man. Like that was a real drag getting through. But I quit drinking until I came back home here to Spain. And then I think I was out one lunch around a little over 2 weeks ago. And I just wanted a pina colada, right? At the beach. I didn't want to get tipsy or anything. I just wanted a drink. And I ordered a pina colada. And I don't know what it is, but I recently started like ashwagandha on top of like lion's mane and some other mushroom supplements. And the pina colada that I got was so strong. Now, usually like if you're drinking, this is a good thing. But I just wanted something like sweet, something to give me like a light little buzz, relax a little bit. But all I could taste was like the rum inside the drink, and I couldn't even like get halfway through the drink. I couldn't even finish half the drink because I just started feeling like so dizzy, and I started feeling so shit compared to what I usually feel like when I'm sober. I think the ashwagandha actually played a role into it, because even after lunch I was just like I felt so sedated. Well, after that I decided then and there that alcohol is just no longer for me, and that's the reason I'm making this video, man, because for so long, I held the number, the like 502 days, right? I held the number and the sobriety at such a high regard. I thought it was, the number of days I can't drink, I can't slip up. And when I did slip up in Cambodia, I felt really bad. And getting to a place where you don't really crave that anymore in your life, and realizing that your life is significantly better without this substance or without this detrimental thing that's dragging you down, dragging your quality of life down, or dragging your physical health down, or your mental health and mental well-being down, that it's just not worth keeping it in your life anymore and just letting go. So I'm making this video to say that I've let go of alcohol. I'm not going to drink anymore, and I don't care if it's hard for me sometimes, because in my age, I'm 26 years old. A lot of people party at a lot of social events, going to bars, going out, going to nightclubs. People drink, man, and alcohol is so ingrained in society that it's kind of hard to fit in these days. Kind of hard to make even new friends if you're not drinking, if you're not obliging. That's kind of part of the reason why I drank in Cambodia and why I was drinking Thailand again, because I didn't go out until that night in Siem Reap. Like, I hadn't gone out for the month that I was in Bangkok. It was just me going to the gym in the evenings and me following my strict routine and good habits, but that kind of isolates you from like other holiday goers or other people like your age, or the demographic that I would maybe necessarily get along with, But at the end of the day, I'm not going to change my values or my morals for other people, to please other people, or to be like socially accepted by other people. So I just got to figure out a healthy balance, find other people that share some of the same interests and passions with me, and then just like vibe off of that, right? Because alcohol is just not worth it. And that concludes this rant. I still have to stop the Zaza. I'm kind of still struggling with that, man. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. It's smoking hella gas, but I'll make a video about that in the next few days. Like before the end of this week, I'm gonna get that thing. Before the end of this week, I'm gonna get that situation under control as well. So I hope you found this video useful or insightful in some way. I'll come up with some strategies for dealing with addiction and mindfulness a little bit later on, further along my self-improvement journey. So remember to go out there and get it. Love you, bro.